Welcome to Black Coffee Conversations. It's all things relationship. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Tiffany.
And it is time for season 2 to come to an end.
Ooh.
So we got to kind of recap. We have had some great guests this season.
Yes, we have.
And we really focused on self-growth, right? Self-mastery.
And healing.
Yes, and healing.
Yes.
And so let's kind of recap some of the guests that we've had on this season.
Well, I think we started with us.
We did.
We did.
That's right.
We started with, it was New Year. We started in
Yes.
January, and we kind of gave our viewers a taste of our vision for 2025.
Exactly.
We even shared our vision board.
We did.
Yeah.
We did, which I think was great.
It was great.
Thriving in 2025. That is my theme for this year.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And how are you doing with your vision board?
You know what? I'm really doing well. And I actually had a vision board that I kind of put together. It was a vision book.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I actually still to this day go back and kind of give an update, kind of still write notes and journal because I wanted to make sure I am basically aligned with what my goals were.
Yes.
And that I'm on task. And that's really going well. It's actually going well.
It's going
What
well
about
for me,
Because you
too.
had the horse.
I did.
Y'all need to go back and look at that.
Yes, place your
episode.
bets because the horse has the gunshot has gone off and the horse has left whatever that little stable is. They leave, but
Right.
I think for me, just having the vision board where I told you I have it in my mirror in my bathroom, so that when I'm
Exactly.
getting dressed in the morning, I kind of
see it.
see myself and
That's
I see it in the mirror. But it's really sort of just helped me to stay centered
Yes.
and focused in what my desires are and kind of the things that are going to bring fulfillment and joy to this season.
Yes.
So, yeah, things are in motion, and I have seen the evidence of some of the things that I have vision for starting to play out, and I'm really excited about that. Yes.
I think it really helped. I mean, I know in the past, I know I've done some vision boards and things like that, but I think this time keeping it in the forefront, continuing to work, it's basically kind of fluid. I'm working through it, has been really great.
I think it's a good tool to help strengthen your faith too.
Yes.
Because, the more you sort of have the vision, you write it down, you make it plain,
Yes, you do.
and you get up every day and you practice
see
that
it.
consistency,
That's
you see it. It's you
Yes.
that's moving through, making it happen
Yes.
and working with the Lord in order to bring those things into fruition. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I think we started in a good place.
Yes.
And then we invited others into this space.
That's right.
To sort of share the things that they have going on. And we didn't focus so much on dating this
That's right.
time around.
We didn't.
But we had a wide range from grief to healing to investing.
That's right.
To what it looks like to be a later dater.
Yes. Yes.
And also for women, what it looks like dating in your 40s and 50s.
Yes.
And
how it really all starts with self.
absolutely.
At the end of the day, all of the guests, whether you're talking about finances, relationships, your spirituality, we really came back to focusing on us and how we can focus on us and grow in those areas.
Yes.
So I think that was great. Yes. So who was the first person that we had, the first guest after? Was it Nate?
I think it was Nate.
Yes, yes.
And Nate is a star of the hit docuseries
Yes,
on Netflix
Later.
called Later Daters.
That's right.
That was produced by Michelle Obama.
Exactly. And he was one of the participants. And, it's kind of tough when you're set in your ways in your 40s and 50s and trying to get back out there, in this dating scene and this dating pool. And I think one of the things he talked about as far as going through the show was having the therapist, the dating life strategist, I think.
They gave him some insight.
Gave him some insight, and she talked about really being vulnerable and being open. And he talked about that journey with us.
But one thing I loved about Nate, Tanya, is he was very honest about where he is in his life.
Yes.
And potentially that he may not get married again. He's been there, done that.
Exactly.
And how hard it is for men to walk away from a marriage that they have invested in and built up because it's theirs,
Yes.
you know. So to do it again and start over later in life, it's not really worth it. He said he has his peace.
Yes.
And he might have, 30 days?
Exactly.
And I don't know what days those are.
Right.
But, I mean, he's good.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
you know what? It also opened up our eyes, I think, into that next episode that we did. And that's about even when we talked about dating men that have been divorced.
Yes.
And how they carry some of that with them. It's
Yeah.
hard for them because they put so much they did so much investing in their marriage.
Yeah.
And when that ends, trying to start again.
That was
And
very eye-opening
It was
for me.
eye-opening.
Yeah.
And being able to understand that from a male perspective.
Because I think as women, you meet a man who's seasoned and handsome and, you know, all the things that maybe you've been looking for. And you think that the love and the chemistry and the connection is enough. But you really have to make wiser choices and be very sensible the older you get because time becomes your greatest resource.
That's right.
So you don't want to invest in another situation until you are sure that it is aligned with what you want for your life and aligned with your peace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So again, feeling comfortable with where you are, and he was comfortable with where he was in life. Yes.
But I hope somebody sparks Nate's interest because he's a handsome gentleman.
Handsome.
He has a good soul,
Yes.
a good head on his shoulders, and I think any woman would be lucky to have Nate.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
And that takes us into, I think it was when we actually went on the Kim and O show, but it was just us and Kim, and then we actually had her on our show.
We did.
Yes, and talked about dating.
And I think she offered a lot of insight because something that I really gleaned from Kim as I was sort of expressing, I think I asked you, what do you want in a man, Tanya? I just asked you, and you said what you wanted.
I did.
I said what I wanted.
I did.
And she was able to, for me, show that you're really looking for that intellectual partner that's going to build with you and strive with you, and you're looking for this emotional connection. And it's true, and I hadn't really put it in a nice little package like that until she called it out. So I'm very grateful for her for giving me that insight because it helped bring clarity as to what I actually do want.
Exactly.
And what's going to, bring me the most fulfillment.
There we go. So thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
And then we moved on to, was it Terica?
Yes.
Triple T's.
Triple T's.
Tanya, Tiffany, Terica.
If you missed that episode, check it out. Terica is our behind-the-scenes guru. She makes all of this loveliness happen.
But we got her in front of the
We
camera.
got her in front of the camera,
Yes,
and
yes.
she shared her journey of grief and healing and what that looks like as far as reaffirming and reestablishing your identity after you have suffered a loss. So I think a lot of people of all ages and walks of life can relate to her story and get something from the wisdom that was shared there.
Oh my goodness. And she is a millennial. So really millennials, you need to check it out because one of the things that we talked about was, losing a spouse later in life.
Yes.
You have that support kind of there.
Yeah.
Other women, other men that may have experienced the loss, but to be a millennial
And lose a spouse. It's very rare.
It's very rare. And so if you have not checked out that episode, please check out that episode with Terica. And then we moved on to
We had Pastor Q.
Pastor Q.
Pastor
Yes.
Q was so awesome.
Yes.
We really dug into the spiritual warfare that is sometimes attached to relationships
Yes.
as it relates to Jezebel
Oh my goodness, yes.
and another spirit called Leviathan,
Which
which
was
I
new.
was not familiar with.
I was not either.
But they're very similar.
Right.
Biblically, they both represent agents of manipulation and control, and how you can get into, I think Jezebel was with King Ahab.
Right. Yes.
And she was using her seduction. She was using elements of control to manipulate him to her will.
That's right.
And you have a lot of that's happening, and you don't realize the spirit that's operating behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
In your professional life, in your personal life, as you're dating. I mean, he talked about all of those different examples.
So I think that people
was eye-opening.
it was.
Yes.
And he also shed light on some things that I think a lot of pastors go through that they never speak on, and that's the spiritual drain
Yes.
that they can
Yes.
feel sometimes from pouring out
Definitely.
and wrestling with, some of these different spiritual
These
entities.
attacks. Yes, the warfare, these attacks.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I would say too, and I even said on the episode, is when they say pray for your pastor, pray for your pastors, your leaders, we really need to be doing that every day.
Absolutely. Because
Definitely.
it's not just like showing up at a regular job where
No.
you just punch some numbers
No.
or manage some things. It really,
You are overseeing.
and you use a different part of yourself
That's
that can
right.
get depleted very easily.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I got a lot out of that episode too.
I did as well. And then let's see, did we move on to
Fatherhood.
Fatherhood, our
Yeah.
fatherhood, Father's Day edition or fatherhood
Yes,
edition.
it was excellent.
Yes, with Marcus Manise, Stronger Than My Father.
And he had a powerful story
Oh my goodness, he did.
about mentoring young boys who
Yes.
are fatherless a lot of times.
That's right.
And, are looking for that love and consistency so they can really thrive in life. It's a great work that he's doing.
It is, and I'm glad he kind of went into it, because when he first came on, and I thought, Stronger Than My Father, I immediately thought, oh, what is his story with the relationship with his father?
Yeah.
But he had a great relationship, great, mom, dad that had been married for I think over 50 years.
Yeah.
But just the want to help other boys.
And the desire to start a father circle.
I love
where
that.
he brings other men into the
Yes.
fold to actually learn father skills and heal some of the trauma that keeps men from showing up as fathers.
And because it's a cycle too.
It is a
It's
cycle.
it's a generational cycle, and so bringing about healing for them. Yes. So great if you like I said, for our fatherhood edition, men out there, young, whatever generation you're from, you've got to tune into that episode. And then that takes us to Andrew.
Andrew Golden. Yes.
Kim Golden.
Kim's son.
Kim's son, WBOL, Kim Golden's son.
Yeah.
Kim, you did an amazing job raising
Absolutely.
a wonderful young man. I learned so much
So much.
from him.
Yes.
And just his passion behind changing the mindset, specifically in Black communities, and how we look at money, finances, investment.
Yes. Yeah.
And not having that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, this is great for the millennials to check out, because I'm telling you, he represented for the millennials.
He sure did. And he really distinguished between the mindset of the generations and how we kind of looked at working to live versus living to work differently, how we approached our money differently. And, I think in our parents' generation that even kind of bled over into us, we thought real estate was the go-to. You buy your home.
That's right.
You budget on your spreadsheet.
That's right. That's it.
But you don't take the risk to really put your money out there to work for you. And so I think that millennials are really blazing the trail of having multiple streams of income, of being very entrepreneurial minded.
I love it.
And investment minded. And I cannot wait to put into action some of the tips that
I
he
was
gave.
taking notes. I was taking a lot of notes. And not only that, and millennials, please, you got to really check out this episode, because we even tapped into the difficulty of dating, because so many millennials are out there maybe chasing the bag, chasing the paper, just dating. And when you're trying to save and invest, and maybe you're not able to put on the Gucci, and maybe you don't have the vehicle, that a lot of women want, I feel like they're kind of missing out.
And also, I think an important point that he made that may bless somebody who's looking for their aligned, healed spouse.
Yes.
Is that, with the social media age, we have become very transactional, and we go by comparison. And so I think that the real flex is healing yourself, and finding someone who is aligned with that, because it's a lot of people that are just looking for a six-figure man or, looking for the come up.
That's right.
But I think
Build together.
Yes. But I think if you just focus on what somebody has, or their accolades, or their bank account, or their degree, that's really empty.
It's
I
very
mean, it's
empty.
very empty. And I think Andrew, for him to know that at the age of 30,
Yes.
given, all of the things that are going on within the generation, is just so blessed.
And season 2, I always say too, we can learn from each other, and I can learn from millennials.
love
I
that.
can learn from Generation Z.
Yes.
So I think that this season has really been great because it has been about, like I said, the self-growth, self-mastery, and it's really helped me to look at my life in these areas. How can I get better? How can I change? How can I evolve to become better? I don't think I had on my vision board anything about love. Did you have love on there, Tiffany?
I had a heart that was very exploding
remember the
and
horse. I'm
passionate.
sorry.
Though she thinks the horse is about love, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But yes, I think that love is ever present, and I do have a lot of love in my life,
Yes.
and it is just continuing to evolve. So I'm very grateful for what the Holy Spirit is doing because in my season, this is a season of clarity,
Yes.
discernment,
Yes.
trueness, and alignment.
Yes.
And that feels amazing because I don't feel as disconnected from my trauma. Like I kind of know who I am more in this season. And so I can make wiser choices. So that's where I am with love, is in the process of making great love choices
I love it.
that are very life affirming. So,
I love it.
and I'm very proud of you.
Yes.
I mean, I'm proud of us. I think that we were more open this season.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that we shared bits of ourselves that maybe, we didn't
Yeah.
think we would.
And I love.
And that was very brave.
Yes. I love having you. I think I do as a co-host. I don't think people understand, even though we do this podcast and we want to be there for our viewers, it is just it's healing for me. I think it's healing for us to be able to talk. And I feel like I said, you can learn from, you're kind of like a Generation X, millennial with their behind the scenes. But I'm just really blessed to be in the presence of you, and you have really helped me to grow as a woman, and I thank you.
Same here, girl.
And Black Coffee
And so
Conversations.
y'all know, Tanya is the mastermind that does our marketing, that pushes our content out, and her level of consistency and dedication to this project to make sure that this message and this podcast reaches people is just, it's daily, and it is ever, I appreciate you for that, because that's not my wheelhouse. So I really love that we complement each other in that way.
Could not agree more. And you know what? I'm ready for season 3.
Me too.
Thank you for joining us for season 2.
Thank you for your support.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody. Yeah.
And get ready for season 3.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
Bye.